Woo! Hey everybody, this is Jim from Jim's Holiest of Coleus in the greenhouse. How's everybody doing? As you can see, I'm suffering along with everybody. It's time for a haircut. I haven't had one since like January. Normally I keep my hair high and tight, but we're letting it grow. We're going the Grizzly Adams look here, seeing we're spending our time in the woods. So, hey, I'm going to do another video. I love making videos. What can I tell you? This is just fun stuff. Finally, the past couple of days have been a Coleus party. It's been so humid, and we've had this tropical storm out off of the Atlantic coast last week and so forth, but there's so much moisture. And again, I live 2 blocks in from the Atlantic Ocean. Just so much moisture in the air. It's just so humid, and it's perfect conditions for the Coleus, and it's amazing. Inside just a couple of days, you know, I check my Coleus every single day, but I just noticed overnight. I mean, it's really that quick. It's an explosion. So I'm gonna go over everything again. I put some of my Coleus out on the table. I need to pick up a couple of small planters at the dollar store today just to boost up my variety. I always get bored. You can never get enough different types of pots and so forth. But I'm going to do a little trimming today. I just thought I'm perfect day today. It's a little overcast. The sun's coming out a little bit. Very humid, very light breeze. Perfect conditions to harden your Coleus. So again, at this point, if you're following along and you're about the same stage as I am, and it's not it's not very windy, it's not chilly or anything like that, perfect conditions to get your Coleus used to being outdoors. If you want to keep Coleus outdoors, if you're going to buy a Coleus or grow Coleus to keep outside, eventually you need to harden them. You need to get them used to being outdoors. So the only way to do that is, without shocking them, is to slowly, over the course of a week or two, slowly introduce them to the stresses of being outdoors for a couple hours a day. So that's what we're doing now. And it's also, again, I put them out on my table, and it's really how I go over each of my Coleus to see maybe there's some dead branches, some leaves that need to be trimmed, any problems. If I see any insect damage, then I have a good idea that maybe I have insects. I'm pretty good here. I generally don't get bad insect problems, but I do keep that insect soap, as I showed in my last videos. But all right, what I'm gonna do, so you don't have to hear my voice, is I'm gonna go over the table real quick, just a couple pointers. Then I'm just gonna do a quick, just go through the rest of my plants, and as I had mentioned last week, to show you how quickly they responded. So for this hot and humid weather. So okay, so let's go and check out some stuff. Any questions or comments, any problems at all, feel free to answer, to shoot me a comment. Instagram, if you have some photos that you maybe have a problem with your Coleus, you can attach a photo to my Instagram or Facebook page. I try to check it almost every day. I do get behind. I get a lot of people asking questions and so forth. So I actually find some questions that are a month old that somehow I don't get notifications for. So if you do send me a comment or question and I don't get back to you in a few days or week, then ask it again and I'll catch it. So because, like I said, sometimes I don't get the notification of a comment, and I have so many videos that I get comments from videos that maybe are 8 months old, but the comments should show up on my notification tab. So all right, so let's go and take a look at some of the Coleus plants, and then I'll give you a little tour of how all my Coleus are doing. So let's go check it out. Okay, so now this is just a small portion of what I have. I'm waiting for my landscaper to show up, so I didn't want to take everything out, because I know that's what's going to happen. I'm going to take everything out on the table here, and he's going to show up, and I'm going to hurry all these back into the greenhouse. So anyway, as you can see, the pruning really works. As much as it's tough to do, to cut those beautiful leaves, it's the only effective way to get the growth going, and it's something that you have to continue to do all summer long. So you can see there's a leaf that needs to be trimmed, but you can see all that growth coming in. So it's something that you need to continue doing. At this point, here's a perfect example. for those of you who are growing, see how it's kind of leaning over, you get all that heavy growth. These want to grow really, really tall. If you let this go and you don't touch it, all this is going to fill in, but it's going to keep growing tall and it's going to fall over on its weight. So what I do at this point now is I cut these four, the two new ones coming in and these two, and I keep trimming those. I don't let this grow any taller now. I'm going to get rid of maybe this. I'll let it grow out for now, but we're going to keep that trimmed, and that'll divert the energy to these guys, and that goes across all your Coleus. So that's generally the principle that I follow, that I've followed over the years, and that's how I get my Coleus to look so healthy. Now you can see I got some greens. I'm not sure if these are black stockings or not, or they were supposed to be. But anyway, I have some just neutral color greens here, but I just trimmed off two big leaves here, and these I'll just use for filler and so forth. Sometimes I just give them away to people, greens. You know, some of them actually eventually do get color, so I'm gonna see what goes on with this here. I know I planted a few of the green electric lime, I believe they're called. So I believe this is an electric lime. So it's a nice white and green. So at this point, again, I'm hardening them. You can see there's a breeze, but it's nothing really bad. I'm not really worried about the breeze at this point now, because these are well anchored in. These are pretty mature, and the breeze is not going to do any kind of damage to them. So, but you can see another example. It's just they get top heavy. They want to grow tall. So you got to really keep them trimmed, top. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go over all of them, as I do every week. Because like I said, I mean, if you remember the video of last week, as I had mentioned, I knew once this humid weather, and this is just a couple of days of humid, moisture coming in, it really explodes the growth of the Coleus. This is beautiful. Look at this. I can't wait to pot that. That's a Defiance. And there's a little tongue there. That one's, see, it's kind of taken over the other one, so we need to trim that. But there's two in here. This needs to be, again, I plant two per pot, and they eventually need to be separated. Either someone will buy it and plant them themselves or what have you. But these are nursery pots. They can't stay in these nursery pots long. They really need to be repotted or planted in the ground, because you know the root system is very aggressive on these, and it really takes up all of the roots. So these are fine right now, but again, they really, once they start getting big like this, they really start taking over the whole pot. There's a jitters, hanging basket. Another jitters. Some are a little better than others. Kongs. I just grow so many of these, and they all have a little different color. But come on, look at them. Look how they just grab your attention. Those are just my favorite. I purposely, I have the seeds to the mother plant, a whole bunch of seeds, and I planted a whole bunch of these, and they're all coming out. I have so many of these, and I'm so happy, because these are probably, I mean, of the Kong variety, the color here. These look great in those little wavy pots. They just, oh my God, and you put them, you know, Coleus do great in pots, and you know, you can keep them indoors. If you have a nice living room or a bay window, whatever, that gets lots of light, you pot it, and you put it in that window, and you water it, and give it that bright light all day long. It does really, really well. Just fertilize it, give it some food every couple of weeks. Make sure your pots, again, make sure your pot is well drained, and your Coleus is good. And as it gets really big, once it starts growing, once it starts developing stems where it gets full and you get lots of branches, then that's when you cut the branches off and root them and make another new plant. So you have a few plants. That way, if you're not collecting the seeds, you can have some rootings left over in the fall. So again, at this point, I'm going over everything. Again, this is only some of what I have. The rest is in the greenhouse. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? So I'm just going over each one. I'm giving them a good shot of water. Everything's drained well, so I make sure I get these, I don't saturate them, but I give them a good shot of water, because when I put these back into the greenhouse, all that humidity, the moisture just evaporates into the greenhouse, and it boosts the humidity level. And that's my key. That's what I try to do, is get the humid, I want to recreate the home environment for these plants, which is Southeast Asian, high humidity, and that's really when your Coleus thrive. Okay, so at this point, if you're following along, just keep it up. I know it's hard to cut these beautiful leaves. Just get them boosted, get that growth going on in the bottom, and maintain it afterwards with just the top few leaves. Let them grow, let your growth come in, and you're gonna have a beautiful Coleus, just like my planters. There's no reason why you can't as well. It's not difficult. Just it is something that you need to check daily. You don't need to spend your whole day, but if you just plant your Coleus and walk away, they're not going to do well. You need to maintain them. You could skip a day or two here and there, that's fine. But you do need to have maintenance on your Coleus. And don't get discouraged if your plants die. I've had plants die. I had plenty of plants die on me. I've made plenty of mistakes. And you learn from them. Which is your favorite? Shoot me a comment if there's a favorite Coleus here. Look at that. And this is, we're just at the cusp of June. We got July and August. Imagine just, and inside of a week, all this growth. Just imagine what these are going to look like once I get them into bigger pots. How huge these Coleus are going to be. And you can do it. There's no reason why you can't. So, okay, so let's go into the greenhouse. I'm going to shut my mouth, and I'm just going to go over my hanging baskets and my ornamental pots. So let's go take a look. and you know, it's gonna get even more crowded in here, which and there's my crazy Yorkie chasing chipmunks. Anyway, it's crazy back here. Anyway, you can see we're starting to really fill up. I'm gonna run out and get a few smaller style pots. And it's too bad this year I couldn't really get anything online, but that's not a big deal. There's plenty to be had out in the stores. So we got all the hanging baskets up, as the video showed. I got my hanging baskets yet to be planted hanging. There's that Saturn slowly coming back. Got beat up a little bit, but as you can see, I try to organize everything as best I can. And yeah, it really gets crowded in here, and I have no choice but to put them out on the table because it's hard to move around here. But it's okay. I'm very pleased so far how things are turning out. And again, another week or so, they're going to even be in better shape. But again, these do well, they do better, they do best in larger planters, larger pots. There's a couple, real quick before we go. Here's another one I just did. And we're getting that nice rain shower coming in. So anyway, this is another idea. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next video. Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Thanks for watching, everybody.